BLEACH Rebirth of Souls. Finally a proper Bleach game after so long. The last time I played a good Bleach title was back on the PlayStation 2 and PSP, so it's been a while. I've only played a bit so far. Time hasn't been on my side, and the game was crashing at first due to an authorized memory access issue, but I eventually found a workaround pretty easily. Anyway, I'll keep this brief. The game is simply amazing. The visual quality, combat mechanics, and music are all top notch. Character design look great, and you can shop for booster items similar to what you find out in the Dragon Ball games, like dealing extra damage, more defense, or recovering HP while standing still, etc. The game plays like an arena style fighter, where you're locked inside a large circle of space and you can move freely within it. And the boundaries are big enough that they're hardly noticeable. At least they weren't for me, as I was still learning the ropes. Each character has some form of release state, like bankai or soul reapers, or wall standing for quincies. Quincy actually don't expect a huge roster here. The character selection is honestly pretty disappointing. I was expecting way more characters, especially side characters, Arenka, Espada, and Quincy's, and so on. There are no bounds in it. Hopefully future titles will expand on this. After all, this is the first modern 3D Bleach game in a very long time. Even the character outfits are limited, only 4 options, and I didn't notice much difference between them. During character selection, you only see the upper body, so when I got 2 pink outfits for instance, I couldn't even tell them apart. Voice acting is mostly stellar within a few sessions. For example, Yasutora Sado Chad didn't sound quite right to me. Maybe it's just a regional voice actor, but something fell off. Everyone else sounded like their usual selves, unless I missed something. Now for combat. It's fantastic. Animations, effects, and voice lines during special moves gave me actual goosebumps. It's so cool. Yoriichi in particular is incredibly satisfying to use. She's an absolute beast in this game, and I'm sure everyone got a favorite. If your favorite is an Arenka, there is a high chance it might not be the game yet. My second favorite is not. Now here is what I don't like, movement and some of the controls. Sprinting requires you to hold the button down A, and even then it still feels slow. I was expecting movement similar to Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, where you can dash into the flash of step around freely as long as you have the stamina. Blocking and countering are mapped to separate buttons, which feels a bit awkward. Counters are also vary by character. Some trigger instantly, others have the delay with the flash animation, so that might be why. For instance, Yoriichi dashes toward enemies, while others do different things like spinning or slashing, or leaning. By default, every character walks slowly, painfully slow. Dashing doesn't seem to consume any resources, so it feels unnecessary to walk. Flash stab, basically teleporting behind opponents like in Xenoverse, does require a gauge and has a short cooldown, but it's limited to just 1 or 2 uses before needing to recharge. It possibly did games better with progression or gear upgrades in other modes. I'm still early in this game, so I don't pay much attention yet. Anyway, flash stab seems more like an escape, evasive skill rather than an usual time move, like in Xenoverse 2 for instance when using a guard shield that consumes your stamina. So the game wants you to use the ping counter attack input instead of which is just a flash stab if you do it in time. Now the story. It's bad. I ended up skipping most cutscenes. They're long, filled with no dialogue about the past events or character motivations. I wouldn't mind if that something happened during the scenes, but it's just static shots of the character standing there, mouth moving, eye blinking, for like 5 minutes. It's lazy. I know how some people might say I'm being harsh, but seriously, add camera angles, show other characters reacting, give the speaker something to do. Right now it gives off major Jump Force flashbacks, and not just in a good way. The game sucked. Thankfully, in the battle animations are absolutely incredible, cinematic, fluid, and way more engaging than the actual story scenes. That contrast is wild, but at least the gameplay delivers. That's all for now. I hope the review was helpful. I may update it in the future once I've had more time to dig deeper in the game. And honestly, I'm looking forward for some improvements or maybe an open world version similar to Dragon Ball Xenoverse or Kakarot in the future. That would be awesome.